Hello. Hello, chat. Welcome to stream. It's been a few days since last stream. Oh, God. Hope everyone is doing well. We're doing a drawing stream. I haven't done one of these in a minute. So we're gonna do a lot of yapping, we're gonna do a lot of drawing. That's the whole point. Anyways, also I'm gonna be working on stream sketch commission. So if you got one of those, be prepared. But yeah. Anyways, I'm working on a little warm up drawing first, and then we'll get into the other stuff. So warm up time, and then we'll get to sketching the other stuff. Let's keep working on this warm up. Can you tell who this is based off just the face? Should be able to. Is that who I think it is? It might be Fiery. It might just be who you think it is. Also, welcome everyone to the stream. How's it going? As is with all art streams, you're getting more laid back, Crow. So today's plan is I'm gonna work on stream sketch requests, which, by the way, if you would like yourself a stream sketch request, you can go to my coffee and you can pay $20 dudes. Wait, hold on, it might be 25 actually. I need to double check what my pricing is on that. You can pay $20 dues. Yeah, $20. And I will do a sketch on stream. So if you want me to do it today, right now, go grab one. It's only $20, and it helps fund my Evo trip, which is at the end of the week. So, yeah. Unfortunately, still unemployed, but would love to. You're dead to me. No, I'm kidding. Is Jork, don't worry. I only have two stream sketch requests right now, so yeah, it's they don't worry. Okay. But yeah, Evo is going to be this weekend, and I am excited. It is going to be my first Evo. Just unfortunate the timing of it is during a very turbulent time right now in the country. So there's a lot of people who I would love to have been able to meet who are not, unfortunately, not going to be going this year. But it is what it is. Sure fucking is. Yeah. I don't blame the people who aren't going. I'm blame them for being like, yeah, I don't want to head over there right now. You know, not only that, but it's also just like fucking supremely expensive to do anything right now. The everything sucks. Made him out of the loop, but what's Evo? Well, Allie, seeing as you entered my stream while I wasn't doing the usual things that I do while I was playing Donkey Kong, let me introduce you to Evo and the fighting game community, which is Evo is a big evolution of a turtle race. Evo is a big fighting game tournament that happens every year, or at least it depends, but like Evo is a big fighting game tournament that is held in summer every year in Nevada. Um, so you know, fighting games of all kinds, from your Street Fighters to your Tekkens to anything like that, is going to be there and is going to be it is going to be played. How do you say? Um, Sorry, my brain is like all over the place trying to explain this. Essentially, it is like a fighting game based convention, but it's the biggest one of the year, and it is a place where people go and they compete to play fighting games and stuff. Um, so yeah, but there's been like several different ones like now because Evo has like become so big as like a thing. So not only is Evo like there's exclusive Evos depending on like which country you're in now too. So there's Evo France, there's Evo Japan, there's Evo uh there's like Southeast Asia Evo, which is in Singapore. Um but the main one has always been the Vegas one. So every summer in Vegas around like August, it's a big fighting game tournament. So yeah, that's it's going to be exciting, and it's the first time that I am going to one, um, which I'm excited about because I play a lot of fighting games. Well, I try to play a lot of fighting games. Also, hello, welcome, Jabert. Meowdy. But yeah, and you know, I'm a big fighting game guy. I like playing fighting games. I like drawing fighting game characters and stuff like that. So it's like it's been like my bread and butter, I guess, for the longest time. Last year, I actually did like a watch along of some of Evo while drawing. That was pretty fun. Um, but this year I'm actually gonna be there, and I am planning on recording like a little vlog type dealy thing while I'm there. At best to my ability, I'm not the best at doing that kind of stuff, but I do want to record the trip. That's a lot more fighting games than the average gamer. I try. So here's the thing about me with fighting games. I try to dabble into like at least a little bit of everything, right? So that I can understand what the appeal is of like certain games or certain styles and whatnot. Um, so I'll play like you know a little bit of Tekken. I'll play a little bit of Guilty Gear. I'll play a little bit of like my main game is always gonna be Street Fighter. It was the funny thing is that my main game was Guilty Gear for a while, but I don't know. I enjoy Strive still to some degree, but it's not as fun as it used to be for me. So that's why I kind of just stopped playing. Um, I still like Guilty Gear and I like Guilty Gear Strive a lot, but yeah. But I try to dabble in like a little bit of everything, even like smaller games like when Idle Showdown came out, which is the Hololive fighting game. That was the fan made Hololive fighting game that's very good, and it's gonna have a side tourney in at Evo, which I think is really cool. Um, I've played Skullgirls. I've played a lot of a little bit of everything, pretty much. Did I make her head too small? Should I make it a little bigger? I should make her head a little bigger. This is just my warm up sketch. By the way, this isn't one of the requests. But yeah, for any people who didn't know, who came in during the the Donkey Kong stuff, this is like my main thing. She may be missing a little brain, but I love her anyway. What does that mean? Head small. Um, but yeah, that's sort of like my whole dealing with like fighting games in general. Is like I try to get know at least a little bit of each one, just so I can have like a kind of frame of reference. You know, I like variety. I really do. Alongside the usual stuff, you know, I do enjoy variety quite a bit. Um, so having that with fighting games is always nice to have. Let me paint a view. Mm. Did you ever say who you were drawing? Yeah, I'm drawing Lilith from Darkstalkers. So welcome, Mommy X. Nothing comes between us. Hey, Rosie. Welcome, Roseword. She looks cool. Yeah. I'm basing this off a this is based off an outfit I saw a cosplayer. Um this is, like I said, this is like a just a warm up, so it's like a little bit of a study. But this is based off a cosplayer that I like, who was dressed up as Lilith in a very like cool casual outfit. And I was like, damn, I gotta draw that. So that's what I'm doing. Go to sleep for you to talk to me. I wanna hear of the good and bad, the last dreams we had. Beautiful. Yeah. And then after that, we're working on sketch requests. Which again, if you would like a me to do a stream sketch for you, you can go to my coffee. I think if you do exclamation, does it work? Exclamation point coffee. Does that work? Yeah. You go to exclamation point coffee. You go there. You could get a stream sketch request for $20 if you want to see me draw something for you. Just as a little heads up, I'm gonna be shilling that the whole stream, just because, like I said, I'm saving up money for Evo, and I want to make sure I have as much of it as I possibly can. You know. And sometimes I'll just look at like some artists for reference of stuff, right? Just because I like seeing other people's styles and how they do different things. And then I always come back to the main artists that I always like find myself drawn to in terms of style. Uh, always yaoi artists. I don't know what it is about yaoi that just brings out the artistry in some people, but yaoi artists are like crazy good. It's insane, actually. It's like the it's like the idea of like the Fujoshi energy is just what like drives them, you know? Does let me cook art. I don't know. Yaoi artists I believe are just generally built different, you know? Especially people who draw old man yaoi. Oh man, those are even more intense. Old man yaoi goes crazy. Because a lot of people are really good at drawing like hot young guys, but like people who draw like hot old dudes, crazy. No better yaoi artist than every single Ace Attorney artist you've ever seen is like some god level like artists. This is just fact. Any Ace Attorney artist that I find, amazing. All they do is draw, yaoi, but my god, is it the best yaoi you've ever seen? That's why every time I see any Ace Attorney like yaoi art, I'm like, nah, I need to follow this person. They're drawing shit like the Sistine Chapel, but for like two 30-year-old men who are lawyers. feel like I need to just like sit down with more yaoi artists and be like, how do you what draws you? What drives you? You know, what truly motivates you to create such amazing pieces of art that you do? Is it you just want to see these two men kissing and going at it like fucking animals? Is that what really, drives you? Real. Listen, I'm speaking truths. All right. This is observations from being an artist online for years. Coloring ever was on gay sex drawing. That's crazy. That's a crazy statement to make. We're trying to make up for 90s style yaoi. What do you mean 90s style yaoi? What was wrong with 90s style yaoi? Wait, is it are you do you mean like 90s style yaoi like when Clamp did the egg yaoi? When Clamp when well that's more BL I guess, but like when Clamp did the JoJo doujinshi where Kakyoin laid an egg. Because I think that's high art, to be honest. If I'm being honest with you, I think that stuff is high art. Truly, like it's cerebral in a way that you just would never think of. Crazy big hands and monster proportions. I feel like yaoi hands are just like they're like a staple though at this point. Well, it's crazy because I feel like yaoi has moved on from that very like succinctly. Now you see yaoi and it's like I said, it's like almost Renaissance art in the way that it's made. And it's crazy. This is why things that are there's a big discussion along like going on right now about censorship and how we view sexuality and things like nudity in the human form and whatnot, and how there's like this big push for it's like, oh, it's for the kids' safety and all that stuff. And it's like, well, when you go to a museum and you're looking at a bunch of like old statues, like Greek and Roman statues, it's like they're all naked, right? It's all very overtly like displaying the human form, but it's not that it's sexual or it's meant to be sexual. It's just that is just what the human form looks like. And I think that there's this general like genuine discussion to be had about like um why we need things that are inherently sexual and non-sexual, right? Because if we just assume that everything nude is sexual, then we lose a lot, right? You know, we lose a lot in art because the human form is just another form that we can interpret it to mean different things, and it is it's kind of ridiculous that we've gotten to this point when it comes to that kind of stuff. And it's from people who don't like actually value art inherently and are just trying to push an agenda, and it is unfortunate, because I'm somebody who I don't draw a lot of not safe for work often. I do sometimes. You just have to find it, and I'm like Gold Roger with like my booba drawings. Essentially, they're out there. I left them all in one place. You just have to find them. um but when you find artists who do pretty much exclusively that, you find this how should I say this skill that you don't see anywhere else. Like you see this mastery of the human form that is hard to do. It's like, well, you're over here struggling to draw like something that's not at a 3/4 angle. They're over here drawing two figures doing like backflips and like non-Euclidean geometry, fucking and it's insane, and they just do it effortlessly sometimes. I constantly talk about an artist that I really admire in terms of their skill set, which is Riz Draws. And the joke is like, haha, Gooner art, ooh, goon. But it's like when you actually look at the artistry on display from somebody like Riz Draws, it's like that is a master. That is a master of the human form, of pushing it to certain points, and 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 it's crazy, you know. Um, it's crazy how good it is. Coloring, form, everything. You know. Um, and I recommend, like, even if you're not into not safe for work stuff, you should go check out Riz Draw's stuff. You know, it's insane. And you shouldn't discredit them just because they draw things of a sexual nature or anything like that. You know, it's like that's normal. That's just life. Life is inherently has like things that are sexual in it. But it's like it's crazy how like so much stuff has become so prudish lately. You know, it's like it's like I don't know. It's like this idea that people can't express themselves. Like, you know, people are like, oh well, it's to defend, you know, children so they don't see that kind of stuff. It's like, well, children are gonna inherently find that kind of stuff, you know, and it's more important to have those discussions with your children early on so they understand what it is, as opposed to just sheltering them from the reality of it. You know, it's kind of crazy. Like, look, every 12-year-old boy, every teenage boy has just fucking seen porn at some point. Like, that's not like a surprising thing. That's just real, right? They'll find if they want to find it, they'll find it. You can't stop them. But yeah, that discussion is just, it just sucks that so many people are being, you know, essentially ostracized for drawing that kind of stuff or whatnot. And I don't know, man. It just it's ridiculous. Like, just let people draw boobs if they want to draw boobs. You don't have to look at it. It's part of the reason why I wish that Twitter had the moderation system that Blue Sky has. You know, because people are always complaining about like, oh, Blue Sky, it's a boring place and blah 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 blah. But it's like, you know what's great about Blue Sky? It has a moderation system. So if you don't want to see certain things, you just don't see it. That's it. It's great. It's fantastic, especially if you're a not safe for work artist and you don't want like people to just come at you and be like, oh, where are you drawing? It's like, no, you don't have to look at it. Just click the setting and you don't have to look at it. It won't pop up for you. Shout out to all my UK people who are no longer allowed to look at titties without doxing themselves. No question. What type of tablet do you use? I use an XP Pen 24 inch. Yeah, XP Pen 24 inch. So display tablet? Yeah, I always use display tablet. I haven't used a non-display tablet for a long time. I think the last time I used a non-display tablet was like 6 years ago. Just paid attention to my strokes. Yeah, because I'm drawing like directly on the screen. It's kind of just what I prefer because like it's more precise, you know, for me at least. I know some people prefer non-screen tablets, like just pen tablets. Not me. I used the pen tablet long enough, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I like drawing directly on the screen. You don't like display tablets? That's not a controversial opinion. There's a lot of artists out there who don't. There's some artists who I know still literally just use the Intuos, like the original Intuos from Wacom. It's not a controversial opinion. Some people, because the thing is that learning how to use a display tablet actually takes longer than learning how to use a pen tab. And people could be like, well, what do you mean? Well, it's because one thing you have to get used to on display tablet is the parallax, like how there is like some. It's not 1-to-1 in a lot of the cases when you're drawing on the screen. It's like slightly above or slightly below or something like that. So you have to adjust for that constantly. It's always controversial when I mention it. Gomen Umfchan. For not to have my hands in the way of my drawing. That's why I got a bigger tablet, essentially, because the bigger the tablet, the less my hand takes up space on the screen, and I can actually, like, like, there's more screen space. That's why I feel like in a lot of cases for people who say, oh, well, I don't really like display tabs, I think in a lot of cases they use the smaller ones that, like I said, blocks a lot of their view. So it could be some of that. But yeah, I've seen many people who are like who just don't care for display tabs. There's several sizes. Still prefer not to have my hands in the way. Well, then when you draw on like pen and paper, what do you do then? Suffer. I just don't like me personally just don't like how not intuitive pen tablets are sometimes. Of course, to be fair, I have not used uh I've not used any of the new ones, so I don't know. But even then, like the whole thing about like, oh, well, it's good on your neck. I'm like, yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that it's better for your neck overall. My iPad, but if I make my laptop and tablet more portable, I would keep using them for art. I do want to try out the XP Pen has a mobile tablet, mobile drawing tablet. And I think they literally just released or are going to release a new version of it. I do want to try that one out just to see what that's like. Not like, I travel all that much, but it'd be nice to kind of have an alternative to not just sitting at my desk all day and actually like taking it out with me. I heard that the original one that they made was like it was all right, but it wasn't that like fantastic. But I'd be interested in seeing what the new one is like. So hey, XP Pen, if you're out there and you want people to review your stuff, I don't mind. I'll do a review. I'm being a shill for free stuff. But if anybody does like, my recommendation though is if anybody does want like affordable like screen tablets, check out XP Pen. They're like this isn't even sponsored. I'll just straight up say it, like XP Pen they got good products for way more affordable prices than Wacom. I think at this point I can't really like in good conscience like just recommend Wacom stuff to people that much anymore. Like if you like Wacom, you like it, but like it's so goddamn expensive that I think your average person is not going to be able to afford one anyways. But if you are an artist who is on a budget, then yeah, it's better to go for XP Pen. Especially the more recent XP Pen stuff, like the bang for your buck you get with quality is insane. Just realized something. Midsection is not that long. Improve your workflow with the second monitor. That's why I always have like references and stuff on my second monitor as opposed to like anything else. So like if I'm drawing and like working on something, the second monitor is exclusively for having like reference and or idea work. I should download PureRef, the that program, but I've just been lazy. 299 and I had to use a TV and I was most productive I've ever been. Having multiple monitors is super useful, yeah. I don't like having references else because I don't like having to stop to look at different places. What is that even? What? What is? What does it even mean? Usually just split my screen on iPad or open a new canvas on CSP on my PC. I see. Have them directly next to your canvas. Ah. In my case, it's less like, oh, just like whatever I'm working on reference and more of just like if I need some kind of visual like guide or style guide that like I want to kind of aim for, then like I have that open on the side. But I get you. I get not wanting to break your line of sight. I think for me, it's just because I have so much stuff bookmarked on Twitter that it's hard to like not just have it open on the side. Your arm's too long. Looking too hard and take my eyes off the screen. Seeing as how I'm streaming, I can't do that. I need to have chat open on the second monitor. So I've trained myself to be focused. Why'd you put the Monster Hunter dead? What happened? Who died? Also, fucking, I just saw a tweet that's fucking insane, which is, men, I challenge you to try this in August. Daily porn, daily alcohol, 5 to 8 hours on the game slash day, 2 to 5 hours of sleep, 500 steps a day, or less than 500 steps a day, 0 push-ups daily, no home cooked meals, takeout only. Shall we? Holy hell! It's like rot maxing. Do you want to rot? Have a crippling porn addiction? Peak masculinity performance? That's the worst thing about like announcing that I'm going live on twitter.com is that the moment that I put it, I'll get like 5 notifications like being like, this person has liked your thing, and then I'll look and it's a fucking bot. It's always a bot every time, and I'm just like, why? Why does it have to be a bot? Why can't it just be a real person? Like every time. And it's like weird bots because it's not like, oh, like streamer something bot. It's like it'll just be like some random like selfie woman who isn't real. Those always freak me out the most because I'm like, whose account are you stealing these images from? Though I guess nowadays people just AI generate stuff, so it doesn't really matter. Still, it is horrific. The dead internet theory becomes more evergreen every day. Just realize it's there. Tilt, there's not tilt. Okay, good. Time for your boobs, Wendy bot. We streaming Lilith. Speaking of boobs and Wendy's, do you guys remember when Wendy's was really into marketing their mascot as like a mean booba anime woman? You guys remember that weird era of like social media? Then people were drawing like porn of Wendy herself. That was a weird time. Was that pandemic? That was pre-pandemic. As far as I remember. Must have been sick that day. It was a while. It was happening for a bit. You can even search up like anime Wendy's. I remember the official Wendy's account was kind of in on it too. But then they had to dial it back because it started getting like a little too like risque. So everyone went insane on their own. No, it was real. It happened because the Wendy's account was the first one getting real sassy with people. Yeah, because like, there was smug Wendy's, and that's what it was. And then you would just see like big booba anime women drawing of Wendy girl. I want to fix this hand. Hand looks bad. Yeah, and then they also did like hot anime Colonel Sanders too. It was a weird time. And then KFC made the official date the Colonel thing. And interesting times. Remember the Honduras Wendy's that kind of got in trouble because they took a drawing and used it for advertising, and the artist responded negatively. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on around the time too, where like there was they were essentially just like taking art from artists and not crediting them. It was like it's all like a lot of the accounts that are losing like good faith because of that. The KFC thing was terrible in Tumblr. That was like 2016, 2017. Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of Colonel Sanders, interesting Colonel Sanders art. Funny thing about that too is that Uma Musume did a collaboration with KFC in Japan, and there's official gold ship Colonel Sanders where she just dresses up as Colonel Sanders with like a mustache and everything. It's kind of fantastic. Why can I not draw a hand? Oh, it's because this one is too close. This one needs to be more spread out. There you go. Can't draw like. Why must hands be so hard to draw? I hate it. Yeah, I think post Evo, I am definitely going to be focusing like a ton on just relearning how to draw stuff because man, I feel so inadequate right now. I don't know. I've been seeing so many other like art folks lately just been constantly improving and getting better and doing like crazy cool stuff, and I'm over here like still drawing things the exact same way. Also, yes, I did copy paste the hand. You stream your study sessions? I do not stream study sessions, but I'm thinking of doing that, honestly. I'm thinking of starting. This was supposed to be a warm up, anyways. So, but I probably will start doing like more practice streams. Like when I do art streams, I'll probably do like about like an hour or so of actual practice and stuff before going like all into whatever art piece I'm doing. Just because I think it'll benefit me a lot. Doing more figure drawing stuff and whatnot. I guess this is technically like a photo study because I'm basing it off of a cosplayer. So it is a bit of a study. But if anybody has any good like study resources, I'd be so down to take a look as well. I think one thing I do want to do is like kind of do like online courses as well, like illustrative courses, like test them out, see if there's any that could really help me with some stuff. Because there's a lot of professional artists out there who will do like these quick little like courses, and I'm just like, oh, that'd be really cool to look into. Maybe learn a thing or two that I just didn't know before, instead of just winging it all the goddamn time. You know. I don't know. I guess as I get older, I get tired of winging it so much with art. Like, sometimes I want to have more of a concrete idea of what I'm doing as opposed to just being like, I'll just throw some shit together and hope it works. I mean, to be fair, I don't think that ever goes away. I think you're just constantly doing that as an artist. But it'd be nice to kind of have like a bit more of an idea of what I'm doing, you know? Me too. Yeah. I'll stick the drawing shit together. I mean, it's whatever you prefer. Like I said, at this point in my life, I'm kind of over the idea of just throwing shit together because then I just get discouraged and then don't want to draw. So I'd rather much, try to understand what I'm doing, you know. It's gonna work for me because now I'm also aware how much cooler the artist looks. Like it wasn't enough with their art, now their appearance too, dude. Like holy fuck, my shit. But Rosie, you can't say that when you literally are like one of the coolest looking people I know. Like dude, you dress like a King of Fighters character. You're already like leagues ahead. I'm not cool enough yet. Rosie, I fear that if you get cooler, your existence will just be constant aura maxing, and I don't know if that's a peaceful existence, you know? I worry about you, bud. I think you're too obsessed with power. You have enough. Your aura will just kill me. Is it aura farming if I'm just existing? Depending on your fit, yeah. I mean, you got me beat in that department, that's for sure. Come Evo, people are going to be painfully aware of how average I am. I did recently cut my hair. It looks a lot nicer than it did before, that's for sure. I was looking a little messy. I was looking a little scruffy looking before. But I look cleaner now. I've gotten really good at cutting my own hair. Though I would like to go to a salon at some point again, just because I get lazy. I need to remember to post a picture of myself before Evo, so people will be able to be like, "Hey, I see you, Crow. I seen you." So just post a pic is simply where sign says I'm corviwing all your time around Evo. I think your badge says your name on it. I'm pretty sure. Might not, who knows? But we'll see. I mean, it's not like I don't. It's not like I'm like I mind people seeing my face. Like I'm going to a con as myself, so you know. Sorry to break the illusion that I'm not an anime boy in real life. Close enough. Devastating. Fiery, I don't want to hear that. When you were over here getting all hot and bothered over the gender bend version of my VTuber model, right? You sicko, you freak. They'll meet your flesh Sona, exactly. I reposted the drawing I did of Femme corviwing, and again, people liked it a lot, and I'm just like sick in the head. I should just make my next like version of my VTuber model. I should just make it like the female versions instead by default. Yeah, flesh tragedy. I know. Sorry to disappoint you all that I'm not an anime boy IRL. I'm gonna throw some quick color on this and then call it a day. Ah. I think I also just don't do enough art of my regular VTuber model. I'm like, I should draw myself more. Which I technically did. And which one was it? Was it? And that's the com I'm working on. Was it this one? No, that's a different one. I don't have it anymore. Wait, is it gone? I have it somewhere. Oh yeah, I did this one. This is the most recent crow drawing. It's pretty much gonna be like, this is gonna be my fit when I'm over at Evo, which is just shorts and a fucking like baggy t-shirt because it's gonna be hot as fuck. So yeah. Oh yeah, for anyone wondering about the stream sketch requests too, they are going to be done in like a skeb style, so it's not one where it's like you can request like revision or whatever. It's more just like, I'm going to draw what you suggest, and that's that. So no Wonder Bread. What does that mean? Who's Wonder Bread? What are you saying at me? Don't worry about it. I'm a little worried about it now. You can't just say something like "so no Wonder Bread" and then not elaborate on such a phrase. What do you mean, Viry? What do you mean? What are you referring to? What does the Wonder Bread imply in this situation? If you don't answer me, I will teleport to your location. It's just bread. It's fine. I know I'm aware of what Wonder Bread is. I just wanted to know what the context of it was here. I'm slowly approaching you. I am rapidly approaching your location. You cannot run. No, what is one of the most like disrespectful moves in all of like anime that I can think of? The solar flare from Dragon Ball. I think about the solar flare a lot just because of how disrespectful of a move it is. It's literally flashing someone with the light of the sun. And of course it was done by Tien Shin Han, probably one of the most disrespectful fighters out there. Krillin getting popped like a balloon frequently, actually. Well, why do you got to bring that up now? What do you mean? What's wrong with you? You're sick. Wait, the moment's sad. Krillin didn't deserve that. My little soda pop. Well, you're sick in the head. Got 18 at the end, so all the suffering was worth it. I mean, yeah, I guess. I suppose. It still must be an awful way to go, though. Like just getting popped like a balloon via your inner. I don't. Like, they never even explain how Frieza did that. They're just like, yeah, you just popped them. It's like, but like how? How does one do that? You know, it didn't make any sense. Like if Frieza could have just done that the whole time, why don't you just do that to everyone? Was it specifically because Krillin was small that it worked, or like what was the impetus there? You know, the implication. Just popped. I know, but like how? Also, how dare you make a K-pop Demon Hunters joke, Gerber? How dare you? Krillin like grape size. That's why. I mean, yeah. You never popped a guy? Well, fiery. I don't pop and tell, you know? Womp womp. Every time you say womp womp, the mods will fly to where your location is and will personally stick wet tissue paper in your ear. Now, what is it wet with? You'll never know. The mystery substance. Mods, time out your bear for 700 years. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to stream. I'm just working on a little warm-up drawing right now before I get into the sketch requests. We pop in dudes. All right. You know, it's yeah, you know what? We get on Crow Stream, we pop some dudes, we crank our hogs, you know, the usual. Now we're talking. Uh-huh. Why do you want to pop dudes and crank hogs so badly? IDKU started it. I did not. I didn't. You guys were the ones who said pop and dudes, and I was just simply wondering what that meant. You know? Like if you like to pop dude, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you pop who you want to pop, but I'm just curious. You stream, man. You do what you need. What? What is that? What? You alright, Fiery? Did you have a sip of the silly liquid today? I'm unfortunately just like that. Ah, I see. Just a silly guy. Understandable. I too have been known to be a bit of a silly guy. Actually, this should be more gray. Less black. No, not that. Grayish. There you go. Oh, also, I want to go see Fantastic Four yesterday, and I gotta tell you guys, it was pretty it was pretty fantastic. I liked it a lot. I'm very happy with this current slate of superhero movies that we've been getting. They've all been very, very good. Um, this Franklin Solo, yes, yes, he does. He solos the whole verse. In fact, awesome. It's a good movie though. It's definitely like it feels like in the same sense that Superman felt like a golden age comic book turned into a movie. Um, Fantastic Four feels even more so like a golden age comic turned into a movie. It's very good. It's very very well done. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Um, Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this right here. Sounds great then. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. No, it's good. The thing, oh my god, the best version of the thing possibly in any Fantastic Four adaptation. He's so good. The design is perfect. He literally looks like he just jumped off of like off the comic book panel. Pedro Pascal is an amazing Reed Richards. They really lean into like smart awkward guy Reed Richards, and less so like superhero Reed Richards, if you get what I mean. Like he's more scientist than superhero in this, and I kind of like that a lot. Like especially the way that Pedro Pascal plays him as like this kind of just like superly socially awkward guy. But it's good. They really made them all feel like a family, and I like that a lot. These Superman, all these dumb job interviews keep getting in my way, dude. Just fuck, dude, Forget about employment. Go watch Superman. It's what he would want. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't listen to me. That's bad advice. You know what? You're correct. No. No. Don't listen to me. Thanks, Superman. Actually, watching Superman might make you like more motivated than you would have been before. You don't need a job. Superman's got you. That's right. Who needs consistent employment when you have Superman? Now, I highly recommend watching both if you want to just see some fun, like good, awe-inspiring movies. Go watch it. They're both very good. Both Superman and Fantastic Four. It's good that comic book movies are consistently good again. Though I haven't seen Thunderbolt, so I can't really make any sweeping judgments on that. How do you consider Fantastic Four then? Also, I'm very happy at the fact that the guy that plays Galactus, Ralph Ineson, in it, he is Sid in Final Fantasy 16. And so the whole time I was just like, the whole time he was speaking, I just kept hearing in my head, Clive, Clive, gotta fight the dominant Clive. Why does he sound like that? Clive, we gotta get rid of the crystals, Clive. Like the man sounds like he's gargled cigarettes his entire life. It's insane. Clive, you gotta turn into heat for mate. It's like how Ben Starr keeps throwing me off in Warframe. Yeah, I just hear Galactus, Galactus going, "I need your planet, mate. We gotta destroy the crystal." That hurts my throat to do that. The funny thing is that that's not even what he sounds. He's just got like a really deep, raspy voice, but like in my head, that's just he just sounds like this, Clive. And it's like it's so. And we went to go watch in Dolby, so it's like anytime Galactus spoke, all you hear is, and the room would shake. Mm. Anyways, here's my warm up for today. This was warm up. Now we get to the real drawing. Now, did you guys like it? Did you guys like this cute Lilith? It's based off outfit I saw. Shark. I always forget how to say your name. Shark Party. The cosplayer Shark Party. Was dressed as this. She's like one of my favorite cosplayers ever. I love referencing her stuff all the time. You should check her out. She's really cool. I hope I get to meet her at Evo. Actually, also, hold on. I just realized something. I should. Hold on. Hold on a minute, chat. Create selection from layer. Then gonna make a new layer. Then going to make a layer. Mask outside selection. There we go. And then in this layer, we're going to throw in a texture. Monochrome. I don't have denim texture, do I? No, I don't think I do. I should download denim texture at some point. Canvas probably works. Overlay. Just overlay. Yeah. There we go. Just a little bit of texture. Okay. Anyways. I'm excited for Evo, guys. I'm very excited for Evo. I'm excited to witness a big major fighting game tournament for the first time. I've really been wanting to. I think more than anything, I'm just excited to meet people, you know? I feel like I've been so insular for like the longest time. With like, you know, I've never gotten the chance to go to a convention with people that like would be mutuals. Why am I at 26? I haven't got a chance to go to a convention where I would meet like mutuals or people that I've like followed or people that I'm like in a community with. Um, so it is going to be an interesting experience to have that, I guess. Um, You know, I'm gonna try my best to socialize, Chad. I'm gonna try my best to not be afraid of socializing and actually going up to people, but I also don't want to be a bother. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a little bit of a mix of that. I gotta get used to it, but I'm very, like I said, I'm very excited to go and just meet some chill people. I hope I get to meet a lot of cool people. Hope it doesn't stink literally. Well, it is like beginning of August in Nevada, and it's gonna be like hundreds of degrees out there, so it's gonna be a little sweaty, that's for sure. So, you know, you just gotta anticipate that it's going to be sweaty, unfortunately. But I'm gonna be wearing deodorant, and I'm gonna be wearing, you know, I'm gonna make sure I don't stink. So, now, can I guarantee the same for other people? Probably not. Sorry, I was just posting the recent one. The drawing. And then we're gonna get started on the thing. Also, I literally just saw the news for this right now, but hey, anybody who is on the West Coast like me but lives closer to the coast, please be safe because apparently we got tsunami warnings coming in. I'm more towards the middle or I'm more inland, so it shouldn't affect really me, too much. But anybody else who is like closer to the actual coast, yeah, please stay safe. There is a big tsunami warning right now. Also for people in Hawaii and for people in Japan. Like Pacific is just yeah. Also, hey Rain, welcome. Yeah, I'm not super close to the coast. Like I'm very inland. So like I said, it shouldn't be hitting like us at all. But yeah, for people who are definitely closer to the coast, like LA and stuff like that, like yeah, stay safe. Please be careful. It is very scary. Yeah, I think there was like an earthquake, I guess, somewhere off the Pacific, and that's where it happened. Are we having a good day otherwise? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty okay. I'm gonna working on coffee sketch request now. First, we're gonna do NovaCast, which is this is gonna be an interesting one. Well, the first request, somebody has requested me to draw Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna draw Kefka. That's the first one. Now for these, like I said, these I'm not gonna spend too much time on. They're just sketch requests, so they're gonna be black and white as well. So just as a heads up. I think I'm going to be using this. Brush density. Let's go down to 82. Say something. Boop. Hmm. see. Let me get a reference of Kefka. Kefka's got a kind of a wacky design, so I'm gonna try and simplify it as much as I can. It said draw him in a wacky pose. Let's see. What's a good wacky pose? Now this is always the troubling part of this process is trying to come up with a goofy pose slash position. Just draw circles so you get the pose. Not gonna lie. Mm, okay, I think I got an idea. We're gonna be a little jongleur esque. Let's see. mm, No. Yeah, that's good. I think. Ah. Okay. Do any other artists do that? Like they'll just make a loud noise, like a guttural sound whenever they like mess something up or like they make a slight mistake. Like I don't know. It's just become a habit for me whenever I make like any kind of tiny mistake. Just you, buddy? Really? Anytime I mess something up, I just go, oh, you know, almost like I stubbed my toe in real life or something like that. Video game damage sound. Yeah, well, it's like I think people always. I forget who pointed it out, but somebody was like, "It's funny, Crow. It's funny that you always go ow when you get hit in a video game." It's like it's just a reflex at this point. I can't help it. It's just like it's like second nature. I don't mean to do it. It just happens. Like anytime I take damage in a video game, I go ah. I'm going with this pose because it feels more Kefka. But my second choice for like a pose was going to be had to do it to him pose, which I also feel fits Kefka. Some reason turn into an old man. I mean, yeah, it's like I've like it's always a guttural sound, and I don't mean to make it. It just happens, you know. Sorry, I'm trying to find like good pictures of Kefka again. He's got so much detail in his goddamn outfit. I hate it. Maybe I should have specified in the thing no overly complex designs. That's all right. I got this. Streamer has this. Hey, what was I saying before? Oh yeah, I was talking about being excited about Evo and you know going to a con again. I think I was feeling a lot of FOMO honestly this year from not going to like a lot of cons. Um, but I'm excited for Evo specifically because I know it's going to be, I know it's gonna be a good time. I know that um so much of the internet feels so plagued by the fact that like you just see people arguing all the time online, and people do that because engagement and the algorithm and attention and money now. So it's like, you know you're in a sense rewarded for being just a shitty person who fights with everyone, right? I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, but it does suck that there is like no room for meaningful discussion online anymore. It just seems like all you find is the same people just arguing over the same things over and over and over again. And you know you want to actually like maybe open a dialogue for something, and you can't, you know like anything related to comic books is just such a fucking toss up of like the worst people you've ever encountered just showing up and being a part of that like conversation, just ruining it because they're like, well, actually, it's like every stereotype about like nerds hanging out at like a comic book shop and then just like arguing about like, well, in issue whatever Spider-Man did, and it's just like it's just miserable, you know. Like it's at a point now where like everything needs to be some kind of argument, and it's just annoying. And I think it's also permeated within the FGC as well, right? So it's like with fighting games, it's like you can't even talk about how you like this fighting game or this character in a fighting game without somebody being like, actually, you're trash and you're garbage, and do you even actually play fighting games, bro? And it's just like, dude, I don't know. Like genuinely, I don't know. I wish that like people would just be more mindful, I guess, when it comes to just like conversation, talking, online interactions and stuff like that. These days, I know that's asking way too much of people. I don't know. I'm somebody who's had plenty of drama in his life. Well, not drama, but plenty of like not great in his life, and like I'm not constantly seeking to just see people dunk on each other and like just be mean. I don't know. No, I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about? People say social media platform become a rage baiting nest doesn't help. Oh yeah, no, it is, and it sucks because it's not even that it's like everybody's like favorite social media platform. It's the one that's been around the longest, and like now is unfortunately just been like poisoned to the point where I don't know if it'll ever like be normal again. At least not while the current you know climate is the way that it is. Climate change, yes. They had it in Blue Sky, but all my friends are still over there. Well, the thing is that now because of the whole, censorship stuff that's going on in Europe and the UK, now now I'm seeing more people like I saw a massive migration happened recently. over to Blue Sky. So people are jumping ship. Like there's more people jumping ship now more than ever. Which to be honest I think is good. I know a lot of people are always going to be like, "Oh, Blue Sky is boring and it's all like millennial humor and cringe." And I'm like, "Bro, if you want things to be like actually good humor that's your taste, you got to cultivate it." Like I think the thing that sucks about like a lot of younger generations, and this is going to turn into another of old man Crow talking about the youth, but I think what sucks is that because the foundation for the way that certain online like communities have been, um oh, Mamma Mia. Well, hello, dear Glee. What is up, my guy? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How are y'all? How was your stream? My name is Corviwing. Uh, I am an artist, VTuber who also does a lot of fighting game stuff. If you're coming from Deargly, you would know something about fighting games because I'm assuming he was playing fighting games. But hey, what's up? What's up? I'm doing some stream sketch requests commissions right now. So you get to see me draw what people asked or paid me to draw. Street Fighter 6 servers either killed themselves or my internet sucks right now. Oh no, that's unfortunate. But hello, everybody, and welcome, and thank you so much again for the raid, Deargly. Sorry to hear about your internet. Welcome, welcome. You can hit ! social if you want to see any of my art. But oh, I just got done drawing this, by the way. If you're a Darkstalkers fan or a Lilith fan or just like cute anime girls, I did just do this as a warm up. So hey, if you want to check out more art like this, you go on my Twitter or Blue Sky, or even check out my coffee and get some art for yourself. Because my commissions are open. So, you know. Yeah. Currently, I've been requested to draw Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. So I'm doing a sketch of Kefka. So Freak is going to commission something awful. Well, if you can commission something as long as it's not technically full on not safe for work, because it has to be within Coffee's guidelines. Hey, listen, if you're a freak, that's fine. There's plenty of freaks in this chat. Deargly's also a freak in here. He likes to think he's not, but he is. But this is a safe space for freaks, okay? You're fine. What? You should know. You're like the king of them, Jabber. I don't want to hear a what or any confusion coming from you, bud. Huh? He says as if he doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. I've been shamed about big titty goblins for too long. Big titty goblins? That's like one of the more common things I see around everywhere. People, I know so many artists that draw big titty goblins. That's not. I'd say that's pretty tame by today's standards. Big titty short stack goblins? Yeah, I see that shit all the time. Dearly, that's like super common, like among certain like not safe for work artists and stuff. Like that's not that uncommon. Like, I'm not saying I draw that, but like you know, it's around. I've seen plenty of people do it. Judging God over it, anyways. Look at Mr. Topo Freak, whom big titty goblins is nothing. What do you mean it's not? I'm not saying it's nothing. I'm just saying I've seen it. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying I've seen it before. Listen, I follow a lot of not safe for work artists because I just appreciate their technique. And a lot of them have drawn big titty goblins. That's all I'm saying. Freak. Listen, I don't judge you, Jerbear, whenever like a furry appears on screen and you go awooga. So you need to not judge people when they're into big titty goblins, all right? And there's so much substantial evidence of you going awooga to furries on the stream, all right? Let's see what makes you awooga. Oh, I know. Oh, he will let chat know. He will make it very aware. And he's up be looking for a little while and get some dinner. Deargly, we need to play a little bit of Street Fighter this week before I get to Evo. I need you to whoop my ass so I can learn. I'm waiting. Well, you gotta tell me what days you're free. What days are you available? Because you got till Friday. It's Friday. I'm leaving. DM me like if you're free tomorrow or Thursday. Okay, but what time? You need to tell me what time. You're Mr. College student trying to get his degree, trying to further his education. See me on Discord. I will be on. It just, I hate you. It's summer, Mr. Crow. So how do I know you're not taking summer classes, huh? I am. I just don't attend. Okay, bud. Funky Kong and Team Pal Fucks? What does that mean? Huh? Where did that come from? Either Thursday or Tuesday, your usual streaming time would be good for me. Just let me know after stream. Okay. It'll most likely be Thursday. Tuesday is today. Yeah. We could do Thursday. Thursday will be fine since that is, the day before I leave. But yeah, we'll do that. Oh god, drawing this clown man. I had a better shot at what Kefka's outfit looks like. I can't tell. He got so much shit going on. I hate it. Alright, that's a better look. Who's Kefka? What's he's from? Kefka's from Final Fantasy VI. He is the main villain of Final Fantasy VI. He's essentially the Jonkler if he was like he's the Jonkler if he was like a wizard. Literally. Like he's literally just the Jonkler. But yeah, he's the main villain of Final Fantasy VI, which is a really good game. You're the Jonkler. Yeah? Am I? You wanna know how I got these scars, Batman? How many people do you know have done like an impression of Heath Ledger Joker at some point in their life? I feel like it's like the one thing like that a lot of guys have done at some point. Sometimes, chat, you guys turn me into the jonkler, honestly. And it's mostly Jabear's fault. You just be saying shit sometimes, you know what I mean? Do I need to say it again? What? Womp womp. See, Jabear, this is why I'll never play video games with you ever again. This is the very reason. Womp womp to you, bud. Now I know how Deirdre feels. Good. Listen, you want to play silly games, you get silly results. This is what happens. Let's see. This is the one thing I have against like most Yoshitaka Amano designs from back in the day. My god, why does Yoshitaka Amano love drawing patterns, dude? What the fuck, man? I hate it. He's like one of the only artists I've ever seen who just fucking loves drawing patterns. But like it's never the same pattern. It's always like stripes, polka dots, um triangled and other things, and it's like pick one. Please, just pick one. Why does it have to be like all these crazy things? I mean, he's a master, so I get it. That's like, you know how it goes, but like good lord. I feel like any artist's kryptonite is like just having to draw multiple patterns. That's why whenever I look at any Genshin character, I want to die. I feel like line work is enjoyable. Figuring out the colors is my issue. The way Genshin designs just get more and more complex. The problem with Genshin designs is that there is this idea that everything needs like I feel like Genshin is like the anime version of like the Marvel issue, which is like, you know, when you look at Marvel suit design, they have to add like a bunch of lines everywhere that don't really like mean anything aside from just being like a pattern thing or making it look like military padding or something, right? Because they have to be like, oh, it has to be realistic. Whereas for for Genshin and to some extent Honkai, it's like this idea that everything needs some ornate pattern, right? So that there's a lack of empty space on character designs, and it's very telling. Whereas I think with Zenless, at least, that's a different art team, but it's definitely a lot of people from Hoyo essentially figuring out like, oh wait, no, using negative space is actually important. There's a lot of characters in Zenless that have just straight up a lot of negative space in their designs. And I think it's like it's very apparent. It's I think it's part of the reason why so many people I notice will draw more Zenless characters, and I'll see them draw Genshin or like Honkai characters because there's just less going on. I mean, depending on the character, of course, right? But I think that that's one aspect that like gets overlooked a lot by people is like the use of negative space. It's important. It's important in character designs to be able to utilize negative space to emphasize certain parts of a design, you know. It's kind of like character design 101, but in a lot of cases I think with gacha it's kind of escaped, you know, like those initial like conceits of character design. And now everything else is trying to be like Genshin, right? And so like you'll get things like in Wuthering Waves or other gacha games to that extent that also do a lot of that overly complex ornamentation. Don't get me wrong, I'm cool for like people putting details on character designs that like will tell you a lot about a character. But if it's literally just constantly like patterns, then it's too much. You lose a lot of the character design because you're trying to just make it ornate and pretty as opposed to like serving an actual function. And don't get me wrong, I'm also a believer in like draw cool shit because it's cool or pretty. But I guess it depends on the intent, you know? Know what I mean? Does any of that make sense? Like, you know what I mean? Or am I just rambling? Intent in a character design matters a lot. And a lot of the times it feels like with gotcha games or stuff to that extent, it's not necessarily that they're trying to tell a story of a character, but they're just trying to make them look pretty, you know? Genshin designs have accessories just to have them. I hate them because none of it functional nor good looking. Yes, 100%. 100%. And that's why I use a comparison of Zenless, because in Zenless, every character design has a purpose, right? Every little aspect or ornamentation has a purpose to the character. One of the best examples is the recent character Yuzuha for Zenless. She's got a tanuki on her back. That is her like little partner guy, right? She wears a tanuki on her back, and part of that what's good about that design is that when you look at her from the front, you don't see the tanuki on her back, so it makes it look like she has a tail, but it's not hers, it's the tanuki's. Good example of character design with like an accessory, right? Or one cool thing is her hair clips, the ones on like on her like near her ears, they're actually hearing aids because I don't know how much they go into the story, but somebody pointed out that Yuzuha has hearing aids pinned to her hair, meaning that she's partly deaf, right? Which is an amazing character. Like you wouldn't like they wouldn't say anything, but if you know what they are, you're aware like, oh, she has the clips in her hair because like they're supposed to be like amplifiers essentially, like aids. And it's like such a like an amazing little design thing, you know? Um his leather jacket is there for us to imagine taking out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But Lighter is another good example of somebody with like a strong character design, right? Like he's got that the biker motif going on, but it's not like overly complicated. It's just like here's his biker attire, here's his fit, and here's the red scarf to kind of give his silhouette like a big, like it may make it striking. Design is really simple. Yeah, exactly. The scarf obviously is meant to evoke Common Rider because a lot of his stuff is like very Common Rider centric. He's a motorcycle gang like member. It's like there's a lot of like really cool intent there. Ben Big, yeah, Ben Big is also great. Like there's so much good in the way that Zenless does their character design. And I think it's Hoyo stepping into the right direction with like leaning into like the modern take of things. Common Rider mentioned. Oh, I'm a big Common Rider fan. Matthew, cause my email changed. What a name. They're my favorite of those games. Just really vibe with their designs a lot. I think another good example of a thing you would miss in a character design if you weren't looking carefully, but it has a lot of intent, is King Caesar. Another example of somebody from the same biker gang. Uh, like Caesar, she's missing an arm. Like straight up, she's missing an arm, but because she's like layered in armor, you'd think you'd miss it. But there's like a fun little story detail in the fact that when she loses her arm, Billy, the robot character, gives her his arm. So one of her arms is Billy's arm because it's missing. Um, but because of the way that she's attired, it's meant to just look like armor, so you wouldn't even notice. You know. I will say though, I've seen concept art Caesar, and I think her concept art design is a little better, in my opinion. Just putting that out there. If you've seen concept art Caesar, that design is a little more striking. The half on jacket, yeah. Her punchy gloves would have gone so hard. Yeah. But there's a lot of cool intent essentially. You're back. Welcome back, Diggly. I think Caesar's arm is too skinny. The one that isn't sleeved, I feel like it would be weird compared to the sleeved arm. Yeah, I agree. Sminer is frozen. No, I was looking at stuff. I'm kind of keeping an eye out on the tsunami stuff right now. Sorry, that it just distracted me a little bit. I got people I know on the coast, so I'm worried. There's real tsunami on the west coast, Hawaii and Japan. They're gonna get hit by water. So yeah, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. Wait, am I screen enough or notice subtle changes? Chat, I may be cooked. Well, be careful, man. Stay safe. I think from what I've heard, the West Coast is not going to get hit too hard by it. I don't know. I'm keeping an eye out. But anyways, going back to the character design thing, yeah, it always depends. Which is why I always tell people like, hey, if you want to ever learn very good character designs with intent, fighting game characters, like 100%. Study fighting games and fighting game character design because of the fact that a lot of fighting games don't necessarily have like a concrete story. They need to tell you everything about the character within the design itself. So you will see the best character designs you've ever seen. I mean, Street Fighter is still the reigning king of that, you know. What do you think of when you see Ryu? You think Karate Man. What do you think of when you see Chun Li? You think Kung Fu Woman. What do you think of when you see Guile, American Soldier Man? Like it's leaning into stereotypes for sure, but at the same time, it's like stuff that became like a staple now. Especially Guilty Gear, fill them with belts. With Guilty Gear, it's interesting because with Guilty Gear, it's a little mix of them taking complexity, right? Them taking complexity and adding like refinement to it because a lot of Guilty Gear character designs will be like kind of complex, but there'll be a intent on as to why they are, you know. Like a lot of for example, Soul Bad Guy, like a lot of his look is meant to evoke Freddie Mercury, like because that is who his design inspiration is. It's Freddie Mercury, right? Um, so he's got the white pants, he's got the tight shirt that he's wearing on. He's got like a lot of like little like accessories and stuff. Like the jacket that he wears is meant to evoke like uh the cropped jacket he wears is meant to evoke Freddy's jacket that he wore during his later years. Like there's a lot of like really good intent there when it comes to Soul Bad Guy. And Brisket. Well, with Bridget, it's an even like more overt because like a lot of Bridget's whole character has to do with gender identity and that kind of existence in between like what she wants to be, the existence between what she wants to be and what people want her to be, you know. And Strive is an example of her character design changing because the story changed, Um, Strive is the perfect example of like all these characters have finally gone through a change that has affected them in a way where they're like it's caused their design to change because their stories changed, and I think that that's really interesting, right? So you got Bridget having more of like a playful, like having more of a playful, like feminine overall look that isn't overtly feminine, but is still like very much like what she would wear, um, unassuming and like just something she's comfortable in. With uh, with characters like God, who's a good example? God, I'm trying to think of other characters in Strive that are like a good example. Oh, Eno. Eno is a good example of her character design changing, right? Because she's gone from being this like, mysterious figure, like almost like evil entity, who's just kind of like pulling the strings, ha ha ha, right? Into more of like the capping off of her story essentially. There's more intent into what she's doing within the story at that point. Soul's design changed because he's not running wild anymore, like he was in previous games. He's like more reserved, he's calm, and he's kind of just like putting his bounty hunting life, away. There's a lot about Strive's character designs that you can pick apart, like, bit by bit if you go and like actually like observe. But I would need to like actually like sit down and do that one day. But yeah, fighting games are a really good example of you know, intent and character design that can change a lot, or can be conveyed clearly. Let's see. Can I be honest about one fighting game where I do feel like the character designs sometimes age poorly or like get worse, depending on the character. This is gonna be controversial a little bit. Um, I think a lot of 3D fighting games are very bad at at revamping their characters, like Tekken and DOA and stuff like that. Except King. King is the only character design that's evergreen and will always be good. But there's a lot of Tekken and DOA designs that I think are not great. I'll give Virtual Fighter a pass because it's trying to be boring. You know what I mean? Like the whole intent of Virtual Fighter is that it's trying to be like boring looking. I like Asuka's look in Tekken 8, don't get me wrong. But some other characters I'm like, yeah. It okay, I'll just say it, it's the Mishimas. All the Mishimas just look bad. Except Reina. But all the other Mishimas just ugh. Kazuya, Jin, Heihachi, just good lord. I hate every one of Jin's fits. Jin's mom looks like it. Yeah, she's not a Mishima. She's a Kazama. The Kazamas look great. Don't get me wrong. I don't know what happened with Jin, where Jin fucking felt like he needed to dress like I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell Jin's look is supposed to evoke. Did like Lydia's version of T8, even though they didn't change much. Lydia's design was already strong. So there wasn't really much that they could do with her that was gonna make like that much of a difference. Like I said, sometimes they nail it right away, and other times it's the guys. Can I? Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I think all the guys in Tekken just have bad designs. All the women in Tekken have pretty good designs. I think every one of Xiao Yu's looks has been great, but all the guys just look fucking abysmal. Except King. King will never have a bad look. I think Halarang, Shaheen, and Drag look good, and Leroy too. Actually, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Huarang is a hit or miss, though. I feel like Huarang has had some fucking abysmal looks. The eye patch look is not my favorite. Any character with some supernatural thing. Yeah. Oh shit! Well, welcome, Ray. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi, hello everyone. Wow, you're in the middle of me drawing a clown. That's what a time to raid into. Hello everybody. My name is Crow Corviwing, whatever you want to call me. I am in an art slash fighting game VTuber. Though I do a variety of things, but mostly art and fighting games. Anyways, welcome. We're doing art today. I'm doing stream sketch requests from Coffee. So if you like that, come and hang out. We're yapping about a bunch of different things. Anyways, but thank you so much for the raid, Ray. What were you doing? How was your stream? I hope it was good. Fellow creckly rigging child. If you're coming from Ray's stream, we were both of our models were rigged by Creckly. Um, you were playing Peak and it broke. Oh, like it just crashed, or or the servers went down. What happened? I know they did an update today. I think, right? I think they rolled out an update. Um, Somebody requested me to draw Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. So hey, if you're into Kefka or clowns, give me the right place. I should be almost done with this one, to be honest. I'm trying not to spend too much time on a lot of these. It crashed. IDK if it was a server thing. Ah. Well, I hope it was a fun stream regardless. I just got done drawing this Lilith from Darkstalkers. This was my warm up before I got into doing the sketch requests. We got nothing done and it was fun. Yeah. I feel like that's just peak sometimes, you know? I want to play it again. Peak. I want to actually try and do a solo run of Peak. I've never done it, but I know that there's an achievement for it. It's Peak, I'm afraid. Truly. Alright, just gonna throw on some. As I said, these are black and white, so that's how we're doing it. Oh, but if you like what you see in terms of my art, you can check out my coffee. You can do exclamation point coffee KOFI in chat, and you can request a Steam request for $20, and it'll help me out because I'm going to Evo, a big fighting game tournament thing in the end of the week. Yeah, help fund my trip. Or you can just stick around and watch. Either wor's fine. But thank you again for the raid, Ray. Appreciate it. Some chores done, so I'm a lurk. Have a good stream. Hope the chores go well. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. Welcome from Ray's stream. I hope you enjoy your time here if you're sticking around. If not, I understand. All right, there you go. There's your stream sketch of Kefka. I'm gonna be honest. I was surprised at how well I drew his face because I've never drawn Kefka before. That was fun. Clown Man. I've drawn Clown Man. Anyways, all right. Is that one? And call that one finished. On to the next. All right, next sketch request. I've been requested to draw somebody's VTuber model. This is gonna be an interesting one. Okay. They thankfully have a reference for a pose, so I don't gotta struggle with that at least. We're speed running. Okay. I like when somebody doesn't make when I don't have to think of my own pose because then I'm here for like an hour thinking of how the fuck do I draw this. So I always appreciate commissioners who are like, "Hey, draw this pose," and I'm like, "Thank you, thank you so much." Not that I don't mind a little creative liberty. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes my brain is creatively bankrupt and I need help. You know, people will be like, "Just wing it." Can't wait to commission you with the most vague instructions. I'll literally, I will. No, I can't say. It's against Twitch TOS. I shan't. Even hates me when I give him money. I mean, you haven't given me money yet, so. That is true. Here, have $80. Draw some girl doing whatever. Make it goodbye. You see, but if somebody tells me that, here, have $80. Draw some girl doing whatever. Buddy, I'll. That is perfect. That's literally what I do on a daily basis. Like that instruction is like, all right, good, got it. go to the Rolodex of my mind of like all the girls doing whatever I've drawn over the course of years. On it, boss. Oh, okay. So something happened with Pokemon on their like new the Pokemon trading card pocket thing. I don't know if anybody caught wind, but there was apparently one of the Ho-Oh cards was traced, and the original artist came out and talked about it. And they just apparently they just issued a statement being like, "Yeah, we've reviewed internally, and it seems like the artwork was traced, so we're having a placeholder." Well, good on the Pokemon company for actually like owning up to it. A lot of time companies will like not do that. I can't wait to remind me when they asked Casey Edwards to make Virgil seem like Virgil's very special, make it good, and he was sweating bullets. Sometimes it really just do be like that. It's like, hey, just draw this good, and it's just like, what do you mean? What do you mean just draw this good? Like, please give me some other instruction. Okay, I wish that they had provided a little more reference for their VTuber. Oh my god, there's a lot going on here. Then was the last place I would think that happened. It's well, remember, um, it's not the Pokemon Company is not Nintendo. It's its own company. So this wasn't under Nintendo. This was under the Pokemon Company. They're technically their own entity. So Nintendo doesn't really handle their stuff. Nintendo just licenses the stuff. And I think Monolith Soft helps a lot with like the design aspect of a lot of recent Nintendo like stuff with Pokemon as well because they're good at making open world stuff. But yeah, not necessarily a Nintendo thing. Whereas Nintendo doesn't have as much first party as I thought they did. Well, here's the thing. Nintendo, what they do is that they don't own first party studios. They just merge them as a part of Nintendo, right? Like that's usually what'll happen. Nintendo, in terms of first party that they do have, is Monolith Soft is tech. Well, when you say first party, do you mean like what do you mean? Do you mean like IPs? Because they have a lot. They actually have probably the most like just because some of the stuff they have is licensed out doesn't mean it's not technically theirs. So Pokemon technically does belong to Nintendo, but Nintendo like co does it with like Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. But it's still Nintendo's like thing, right? Um whereas it's same thing with Kirby, where Kirby was made by HAL Laboratories, and then eventually, like Kirby became just the regular Nintendo, right? The Xenoblade series is first party. Fire Emblem, you know, uh, Kid Icarus. I mean, Smash Brothers is the perfect example of just how much first party they actually do have. But like, yeah, they don't have a lot of like in terms of second party developers. Like that's something that they don't really like have as much because they will usually just fold them into being a part of Nintendo. Yeah, like I think in terms of second party studios, they have Monolith Soft. They have Monolith Soft. They have Sora, Sora Limited, which is Sakurai. Well, no, actually, Sora Limited isn't second party developer because Sakurai makes games for other platforms as well. Well, Sora does. Just trying to think. Intelligent Systems, that's a second party developer, which is the Paper Mario and Fire Emblem people. Let's go, Mr. Crow. Thank you for streaming. Lilith was great. Thank you for stopping by. You have a good one, Fiery. One of them wages. I hate that term. I don't know why. I just despise that term. Wages. God. Can't do nothing around here without somebody being like, "Oh, well, you got a job? You make a wage?" It's like, shut the fuck up. You go get a job, contribute something to fucking society instead of just hanging around being a, you know. God, I don't know. There's something about that term that just like irks me because I know the type of people who will say that stuff, and I'm just like, God, wagey. All right, bud, what are you doing, huh? Fucking job hours, yeah. Like it's supposed to be an insult. Like, yeah, buddy, I have a job. What's wrong? What's wrong with that? That's what am I not supposed to have a job? This one is an interesting one. I'm kind of doing all this on the fly, but I hope that they enjoy it. I'm employed for 10 weeks and I'm on the second week and already on the verge of insanity. It happens. Sounds like you got a job, all right. Just bum max. Bum max like a normal person. What is your definition of a normal person? Mostly everyone I know has a job. Mostly. I do have the one stereotypical unemployed friend who will go on like adventures every day. Anyway, see ya for sure, Fiery. Thank you for stopping by. My unemployed friend is fiery, and his daily adventure is Warframe. He frames it war style every day, framing it war style. Crazy. Jorking it war style. He could be having cooler adventures. I mean, to be fair, if I ever became unemployed, you would just see me streaming more. So who am I to talk? Okay, my apples finally. I can eat yogurt now. What a combination. Rosie, I want to ask advice since you seem somebody who would know this. If I do get my ears pierced when I'm out there, what kind of piercing style do you think I should go with? If I with cinnamon apple granola and Greek yogurt, I do fuck with that. That sounds great, actually. I could go for some of that right now. Should I just become one of those dudes who has like the dangly like piercing that's like always something different? It depends on where you're getting your pierce, how much you're willing to sacrifice for the swag. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever stretch out my ears, to be honest. I don't think I have it in me. What if I just get the Zorro piercing? I mean, I could do that. Nice. I knew you'd like that one. Get 3 orifices, or you would search heaven and earth for 4 triple piercing earring. Why do you gotta say 3 orifices? Why do you gotta say it like that? What's your damage? You must obtain the 3 orifices. That's what they are. I don't like that name. It's an awful name. The legendary 3 orifice. Is the plural of orifice orifice or orify? Orifices? I bet 9 extra orifices. That's a crazy. I. Hmm. You know what? You know what, chat? On that note, I'm gonna do a BRB real quick. I gotta go pee. I gotta go pee real quick. Oh, you know what sucks? I don't have the I don't have the DK image anymore. Dang. I can't do the funny BRB anymore. What if I redraw that, but it's me? Anyways. My words are thinking. I don't want to think about orifices when I pee, alright? Let's support that endeavor. You just want to see me cheeked up, you sicko. Right, I'll put the Lilith on screen in the meantime, just so you have something to look at. Alrighty then, I will be RB. I hate the message that I came back to. Use an orifice to piss. Does that count as an orifice? I feel like it's too small. Anyways, what is this conversation we're having? Hello, chat. I'm back. No, it still counts. All right. You know, I have. You know what? We're gonna Google that. Orifice. An opening as of a pipe or tube or one in the body, such as a nostril or the anus. Piss slit? Excuse me? You want to what why? Why would you type that? Why would you piss 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 slit? That's insane. What do you even what do you I, I I need to hold on. I need to I need to I hate that. I hate everything about what you just said. I'm in emotional distress now. Anyways, I don't like that in amongst orifices definition, slit is also in there. I hate when I truly despise when Gerbert's justified. I hate it. I hate that piss slit is a justification. It's gonna be the name of my new metal, my fucking crust band, piss slit. Do you think people will come to my stream, see the things that my chat says, and immediately leave? Do you think that happens? I feel like it does. Okay. Let's get this sketch request over with. I can't get the expression. Like, it's just awful. It's just like it's terrible. You know? Where do you even come up with something like that, Gerbert? It's like done psychic damage to me. Y'all haven't heard that before? No. Sorry, I'm playing Repo. I was trying to beat an old man with a shotgun. Oh my god. What is it with you and giving like how my creativity flows? Let it flow less. Your creativity is a curse to me. But my oomph from the bay taught me the term. What they're saying in the bay? Piss slid? I hate repeating it, but part of me thinks it's also very hilarious. Neuter your creativity organ. We're just saying all kinds of shit today, aren't we? I think neutering your creativity organ is what they did back in the 1950s. I believe it was called a lobotomy. I'm not gonna lie, Chad. Every time I step away from stream, I feel like I got lobotomized by you guys. Is that not the corviwing stream experience? Go, man. You're not sorry. You know exactly what you were doing. I am just a little bit. person's design is a bit confusing. They didn't provide a lot of references. Mm, sorry, I'm kind of like locking in for this one because it's a bit of a complex design. Trying my hardest though. Mm, okay. Mm. Saw a creature moving out of the corner of my eye, and it was my cat. It scared the shit out of me. I was like, what was that? Guys, my cat was being really cute yesterday when I got home. She just kept staring at me. And like was following me around everywhere. I cannot imagine how she's gonna feel when I don't come home for like a couple of days. It's probably gonna freak her out. That's like the one part of the trip that does like give me anxiety is like leaving my cat for too long. Because like, despite her demeanor, she is very much like the kind of cat who is like, no, I need you to be here. Like, I will start freaking out if I don't see you. I remember when I went on a trip a long time ago to a con, and it was like I was gone for almost a week. Essentially, I was gone for essentially almost a week, and I remember when I got home, my cat was like almost in hysterics. She was like freaking out. I think she thought I died or something. It's cute. Cats can be, well, my cat especially. She can be like an affectionate little thing. I know with me in particular, she get very sad if I'm just gone for a bit. But I'm gonna make sure that she has everything she needs before I go on my trip. It does make me sad is that my cat is getting older. And so like every once in a while the thought will pop into my head. I'm like, oh man. When my cat finally passes, she's still very healthy, but like when my cat passes, like, oh my god, it's gonna be devastating. I've said it too. I don't think it, like if my cat passes like when my cat passes away, I don't think I'm gonna get another cat. Or any pet for that matter. Okay, this one was a tricky one just because there wasn't a lot of like perspective on the reference, so I kind of just had to make up my own thing. But I think this should be good. Let me see. Art. Yeah, Novacat. Here's yours. You were the people who wanted one of the stream sketch requests, and here's yours. Here's the Kefka. I hope you like. Nice. You always like crow art. Well, I'm glad you always like my art, Novacat, and I appreciate the calm. I am probably going to be wrapping up like after I finish doing the basic shade or coloring ins on this. I've been going for a while. And I'm planning on streaming tomorrow and Thursday, so I want to also have energy for that. Gonna pretty much stream the rest of the week until Evo. As far as what I'm gonna stream tomorrow, probably fighting games, to be honest. But we shall see. Because I do need a refresher. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I think I should be. I think I should be done for the most part. All right. Another stream sketch done. That's the two that I had. Oh goodness. I think that is going to be it for today's stream. I got what I wanted to get done. Um yeah. Oh goodness gracious. Ugh, a lot of art. A lot of art today. Which is good. I feel like I've been kind of like I don't know. Like I definitely was experiencing some like demotivation lately, but I feel like doing things like this, like little smaller scale art like this kind of does help a lot. With like boosting motivation and stuff like that. So I think these sketch requests are really good. And I'm really happy with this one. This little Lilith. This one was fun too, as like a warm up for today. Um, but yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Another shout out to Deargly and Ray for the raids. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And hey, if you stayed from either Deargly or Ray's raid and you like the stream and you like the yapping, ignore the weird sicko shit that was being said by certain chat members. They will be persecuted. They will be punished. We will be putting Jaber into the contraption. Don't you worry. Um, he will not escape unharmed. But I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. And if you like what I do, leave a follow. Check out my socials. Check out my other art. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow and Thursday, not Friday, because I'm going to be at Evo. So thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I will see you later. Bye bye.